Hey everybody, this is Rob Vegas and I'm checking in from Melbourne, Australia, and of course we're back with another movie chat as part of Movie Month 2023, and of course we are continuing along the Sam Peckinpah Trail of Madness. Now of course Sam Peckinpah, if you don't know, is this kind of rogue director who put out a lot of films during the 60s and 70s, and we're going to get through the ones that we can and have a chat about them here as part of Movie Chats. And Sam Peckinpah is known for his sort of frenetic style of editing movies together with lots of violence and gritty subject matter and gruesomeness on a scale unprecedented at the time. So it must have been a real trip for moviegoers back then to go and see his movies and, experience them on the big screen for the first time. Of course, we've already covered Cross of Iron, which we looked at in the most recent video, and of course The Wild Bunch, which we checked out. We've got a couple more to go. Now, we're not doing them in chronological order. Yeah, I know. No brownie points for me on that one. But there is a method to the madness, much like there could have been method to Sam Peckinpah's madness when he was making these films, and I'm here to just talk about it and share it with you, and shine a light on these movies that I enjoy watching, and just talk about them and see what you guys think. Anyway, speaking of absolute madness and insanity, Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia is the name of the movie. Now, tell me that is not just like the most butt-kicking title you've ever heard for a movie ever. Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. That is literally the name of this movie. And yes, the title of the movie does get said in the film. This is kind of a Western movie. Now, the opening scene to this, you could say it could have been set 150 years ago, like in the Wild West or something like that. But just the way it opens up, it's like this Mexican drug kingpin dude finds out that this guy Alfredo Garcia has been fooling around with his daughter, and he's just disappeared now, and this Mexican kingpin guy, his daughter is pregnant with Alfredo Garcia's child, and he's pissed off about it. He's not happy, and he says to his henchmen and all these bounty hunters who are assembled in his ranch, he says, "Bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia." So this guy's not happy, and basically this is the plot to the movie. Now, it follows our main character, played by Warren Oates, as Benny, and his partner, like his girlfriend Alita, played by Isela Vega, and of course we get to see our good friend Chris Christopherson in a cameo role, and a few other character actors from many of other Sam Peckinpah's films pop up in this. But basically the story is Warren Oates is like this down on his luck dude who's hanging out in Mexico, and he's like, playing piano at a bar, and he hears these dudes, those bounty hunters who are after this Alfredo Garcia guy, talk about their job, and he's like, well, my girlfriend knows Alfredo Garcia, and maybe I can find him for you. Now, originally the Mexican crime lord offered a $1 million bounty for someone who will bring him the head of Alfredo Garcia. And these bounty hunters that Warren Oates is talking to say, hey, we'll give you $10,000 if you can bring us the head of Alfredo Garcia. And he's like, well, $10,000, that's great, that'll change his life, because as I said, he's just playing piano in this downtrodden bar, and $10,000 for him gives him the chance to take his girlfriend and get the hell out of there and change their lives. And of course, these bounty hunter dudes are like, well, let's just give this guy $10,000 and we'll take the rest of the $1,000,000 bounty for ourselves. So Warren Oates hops in his convertible gas guzzling car that just spits out black smoke. He heads on down further to Mexico and he's like, let's get this $10,000 bounty for Alfredo Garcia and let's bring that guy the head of Alfredo Garcia. And anyway, it turns out Alfredo Garcia's already dead. Apparently he died in a car accident or something like that, and he's been buried. So all Warren Oates has to do is find the grave of Alfredo Garcia, dig him up, decapitate the sucker, and pop the head in a bag and take it back to these bounty hunters, and he gets his $10,000. But like I said, this movie's pretty grim and pretty messed up. So that's what they do. They hit the road on a good old-fashioned 1970s road trip. They find the grave, and then it turns out they get betrayed by the original bounty hunters. And everything else just gets pear-shaped from there, as Warren Oates is like, he finds out that these bounty hunters betrayed him, and they've taken Alfredo Garcia's head. And then, of course, all hell breaks loose from there, and, the madness and the violence just escalates, as Warren Oates is like, alright, I've got Alfredo. So he gets Alfredo Garcia's head, and he sticks it in a bag, and he ends up driving it around the country for a bit, and he becomes friends with Alfredo Garcia's head, and it just becomes this bizarre journey where Warren Oates is just talking with Alfredo, and yeah, it really goes to some strange places, and yeah, it's one hell of a road trip in terms of what Warren Oates' character goes through to bring that guy the head of Alfredo Garcia. So you're in for one hell of a wild trip out in, and yeah, this really takes you sort of some grim, dark places, but it's a hell of a good time if you like that kind of thing. Naturally, when it does blast out into its explosive action scenes, it's got Sam Peckinpah's, signature slow motion and cuts and editing, which are just madness. And yeah, it's a slow burner because a lot of the time is spent with Warren Oates just yakking with Alfredo's head. Like he has to, because they're in Mexico and like the weather's like 35 degrees Celsius, he has to stop by and get like an esky or a cooler, as some people say, or a chili bun, as some other people say, depending on your country of origin. But yeah, he has to get some ice for Alfredo and keep his head nice and cool. So once he does go and visit the Mexican kingpin, he can present the head of Alfredo Garcia. So yeah, if you haven't seen this, it's like I said, it's grim and it's just completely downbeat and morose, but it's a hell of a lot of fun and just a really, really bizarre movie that I recommend. So in terms of a Rob Vegas rating, I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5 on the Rob Vegas scale. It's got a really dark sense of humour, and it just escalates, and just, they crank up the tension to 11 through this one. And yeah, does Alfredo Garcia's head get brought? I'll leave that to you to find out if you haven't seen it. But if you have, leave me a comment below, and regardless, leave a good old like and subscribe, and yeah, tell me what you think in the comments about this and Sam Peckinpah's other films. As you know, you're always in for a hell of an interesting watch, even if it is, as I said, some dark and just really morose, grim subject matter. But yeah, bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia. What a title! Like that. Actually, I'm going to give that an extra half a star just because the title kicks ass. 4.5 on the Rob Vegas scale. You have to be in the mood for it, and you have to have a dark sense of humour, but this one's a cracker, and you can almost, as you're watching the movie, you can almost feel Sam Peckinpah, the director, going mad himself, and perhaps he even projects that onto the character of Benny that Warren Oates plays. And yeah, check it out if you can. Yeah, not for all tastes, but yeah, bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia. Thanks for watching. We're going to continue with Movie Month, and stay tuned because I will see you soon.
Crystal Ball says like and subscribe and leave a comment.
Yeah, it's raining a bit outside, isn't it?